Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tom Zunino Stadium here in beautiful Vacaville, California, as the visiting Liberty Lions take on the Will C. Wood Wildcats in exciting high school football action right here on the Solano College Sports Network. My name is Brian Nelson, and joining with me in the booth today is Josh Kinder and Chris Zavaglia. Now, Josh, this is not the first look that we've had at Liberty. Who are you looking forward to seeing most the second time around?
I'm looking forward to their wide receiver, number 14, Zane Hinosa. 2 weeks ago, when they faced Vacaville Bulldogs, he absolutely destroyed Vacaville's secondary, blowing them out and exploiting the weakness. I'm looking for him to do the exact same thing against this a little bit weaker Will C. Wood defense.
And there you get a look at Hinosa right there, looking to be an X factor for the Lions offense. But Chris, you have an X factor of your own for the Will C. Wood side. Who are you looking forward to seeing the first time that we've seen Will C. Wood this season?
My player to watch, Brian, is Daniel McFadden. Wood doesn't have a passing game this year. Let's be honest. Carson Strong is out for the season. That puts a lot of pressure on McFadden. He's ran 47 times in 2 games, 421 yards, along with 5 touchdowns. That's a lot of pressure on a guy that's coming on his senior year. But if the offensive line can push open the gates, spread out the ball, they should be fine in this ball.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my third year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just like fulfills me as a person.
I've been taking classes here for years now, so I've never actually had a class that I enjoyed quite like this one.
You know, I think it teaches you a lot about, it's confidence building to me.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's great.
Nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have. And POF with this program lets you be as ambitious as you want and lets you express yourself the way a teacher should let you.
So, like I said, it's really gratifying to us to be able to help in a way where we can see immediate results. And I think the sky's the limit really with what we can do here.
Get the hands-on experience.
I mean, on-the-job training is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge in this industry.
Joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
Cut two. And cut three, hold the shot. Stand by, we're going to go to cut 1. And cut 1.
We are back. While we were away, Will C. Wood won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, so that means Liberty will get the ball first. And, guys, one of the biggest sticking points that we've seen in the first game against Vacaville and here this afternoon is going to be that 2-quarterback system that Liberty features. Obviously, Ryan Dutt is the statistical standout among the 2 quarterbacks with 29 completions and 44 attempts for 577 yards and 7 touchdowns. And Jay Butterfield will be the other guy spelling him. It'll be interesting to see what Liberty has today and if they stick with that 2-quarterback system.
I find it very interesting that a high school team, especially being, a senior quarterback in Ryan Dutt, that they're going to throw in Jay Butterfield and not make Dutt necessarily comfortable. I mean, I know if I was Dutt, I'd be really frustrated with my head coach. But, I mean, if it wins us games, it wins us games.
Yeah, they won the last game with a 2-quarterback system and played Vacaville pretty close, in all fairness. Jaron Easter-Williams and Kenroy Higgins are the 2 return men for Liberty, and Clark, the place kicker for Wood, kicks it out of bounds, so not a good start to the home opener for Will C. Wood, and that will give Liberty great field position to start out this game.
Not what you really wanted to start off the game, but...
And so let's give the Liberty offensive starters. Ryan Dutt is going to be out there at quarterback. John Fia, the running back. Sione Vaki, Jack Hodgson, Devin Willis, and Zane Hinosa are the 4 wide receivers. Gianni Akendo, Josh McKee, Tristan Valala, Nick Blair, and Reese Watkins-Nelson are the offensive linemen. There you get a look at Zane Hinosa. That was Josh's player to look out for. He was electric against Vacaville in the first time that we saw him on the Solano College Sports Network. In the pistol, Dutt hands it off to the tailback. He breaks a couple tackles and will be tackled at the 40-yard line. John Fio, the tailback.
I think a big key for this game, if Liberty wants to win this game, is going to be the running game. You know, they didn't run that much nor that well against Vaca High in the first game, but along with this Wood defense being spread out, they only have one linebacker in the middle along with 4 defensive linemen. They get through those, it's a big game for Ryan Fio.
So 2nd down and 4 after that 6-yard pickup. 11:27 in this first quarter. Motion man gets the handoff. Wood well defended on the edge. That's Asa Wande, the standout receiver and safety, read that play beautifully, and Devin Willis gets a loss of yardage on that play.
Great job from Asa right there. Almost speared him at the knees. Great pursuit.
And there, that replay, you saw Wande shoot in there like a missile, and that was a yard loss on that play, so that is going to bring up 3rd down and 5. Dutt in the shotgun, 10:49 in this first quarter. The little slant over to the right side of the formation is completed to Hodgson for the 1st down. And there, I think that's the thing, that's the type of play that Dutt kind of stands out over Butterfield, is those timing routes on the slants to Hinosa, and there on that 3rd down completion to Hodgson.
Yeah, I think Dutt being, you know, he started out there more obviously than Butterfield. I think him being out there so much more gives him that connection with his receivers.
So 1st down and 10 at the 47-yard line. Dutt in the pistol. Fio stumbles, so that is going to be a blown play. Wildcats swarm Dutt for a loss.
It's like Fio took a little mishap right there in his feet.
Yeah, that's going to result in about a half-yard loss. 10 minutes approaching in this first quarter left. Dutt in the pistol. 3 receivers to the bottom of the formation, 1 at the top in Hinosa. He looks to the bottom part of the screen. He has Hodgson open, but he overshoots everything, so it's going to be 3rd down and long.
This is kind of like a little bit of a difference we've seen from Liberty, because when we had them against Vacaville, they were slowly moving down the field and converting and not really getting many 3rd downs at all, because they just kept getting those 1st downs over and over and over again. They're moving a little bit slower, and it looks like Dutt's just trying to get his footing back into being back in Vacaville and getting a sense of this type of defense.
Yeah, so this is going to be a huge completion on 3rd down. Would like to see this drive moving if you're a Liberty fan. Here, again, identical formation, shotgun, 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 at the top. They're going to roll out Dutt to his left. Doesn't like the check down. And he tried to force it in there, and it's intercepted on the sidelines by Will C. Wood. That is Zach Marsh-Wojan. The big 6'5" linebacker comes up with a huge pick. And we'll look at that turnover on the replay. You see Dutt rolling out to his left, holding the ball, trying to force it in there, and you can't force it over 6'5", folks. And so that is a big turnover for the Wildcats, and he'll stay out there for offense.
And I wish I could say that Dutt didn't see him, but he's 6'5". Yeah. So that was just bad choice right there from Dutt.
And so Marsh-Wojan is going to be in the slot. They're going to hand it off to McFadden. He's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like Asa Wande was in the Wildcat to start out the game. So a different look for Will C. Wood to start out this ball game. What do you guys think right off the bat?
I like that. You know, it gives it a little spice to the offense. You know, throws the defense off of Liberty and, you know, keeps them in the game on their toes.
And Asa had 2 passing attempts in the 2 games he's played so far, and so Coach Murrah is going to go with the athletic Asa Wande at the quarterback position.
So they're doing it again.
And there, the inexperienced at quarterback, a botched snap. Lions pounce on the ball. So that is going to be a turnover right back to the Liberty side of things. Sione Vaki with the recovery. There you see just not a clean handle by Wande, and the ball trickled into open space, and it was pounced on by Vaki. So ultimately, the Liberty Lions force a turnover right back, and they have excellent field position.
You know, Wande just a little too quick there. obviously not used to playing the quarterback position, and showed right there.
So the pistol formation, Ryan Dutt still out there. Hands it off to Kenroy Higgins. He bounces it to the right side, misses a tackle. He evaded a Wilsey Wood defender, and he's out of bounds after picking up close to a first down. It'll be about a 7-yard gain.
I think we saw a little bit of that against Vacaville when they run it, and they did run it with Kenroy Higgins. He was very, very successful. So obviously that has not changed.
Yeah, multiple backs have really good production for the Lions in Higgins as well as Fio and Sione Vaki on those running plays with a man in motion. Higgins again right up the gut, and he finds some space and runs for the first down on that 2nd and 3 rush.
It's that front four, Brian, for the Wildcats. They're getting beat, and they only have one linebacker behind them because, you know, Liberty's spreading out the ball. And that puts a lot of pressure on them, a lot of pressure.
And so 8:40 in this first quarter left. It is a scoreless ball game. Dutt in the pistol. Hands it off to Higgins for the 3rd time on this drive, but Wood able to put pressure on there. Looked like Marsh Wojan got a little bit of penetration there, and it'll be a short gain on first down.
It also looks like he kind of ran into his own offensive lineman and just stopped him right there, and he couldn't really have any place to back up because he was literally sandwiched between two guys.
And that's the kind of penetration you need from a defensive player. If you can't get it yourself, if you rush your blocker in the way of the running back, you effectively do the same job. So trips bunch to the bottom side of the formation, but they toss it to Higgins. And again, Wood defending the edge pretty well, as that tackle was made by number 52, Nick DeVore, one of the captains for Wilsey Wood this game.
Yeah, DeVore came out of nowhere just chasing down Higgins and making sure he wasn't going anywhere.
And so that's going to bring down 3rd down and long. Last time that Liberty was in this situation, Dutt tried to force something on a turnover, and that ended up with a turnover. 3rd and 7. We'll see how Dutt manages this situation. On the 17-yard line, so in the red zone, would like to come up with points here if you're Liberty. Vaki in motion. He'll go to the top of the formation with 3 receivers split out in this shotgun. He's looking left. He's dumping it off to the safe receiver. He stumbles forward for the first down. Adric Lamar with the completion. And that was a good play call. There's a double slant from the 2 outside receivers. Woods defenders kind of went with those 2 slants that allowed Lamar to get all sorts of room in the flat to pick up that first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line with 7 minutes left in this first quarter. Dutt back in the pistol. Look like Higgins has been the feature back this drive. And they hand it to Higgins once again. He goes to the right side, and he's going to be tackled right about the 6-yard line by Asa Wande. Would love to make up for his miscue on offense with some stellar defensive plays. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line.
Wande showing great hustle thus far. Really being the X factor on the Wood defense.
So 2nd down and 6:20 in this first quarter, as we'll see Wood's band trying to give some energy to the defense. We'll love to stop a potential touchdown here. Under center is Dutt in the I formation. Higgins to the left side now, and he stumbles forward close to a touchdown. Will they give it to him? No. The far judge is pointing to the ground saying he was short. Higgins trying to get another official's viewpoint to try to change that call, but as you can see there, the ref's going to mark him just short, so it'll be 3rd and inches here at the goal line.
That was a close one. You had one judge saying halfway touchdown, and then the one saying, knee down.
So 5:35 left in this first quarter, scoreless ball game. They're going to go back to the I formation, 3 receivers as well. And they're going to quarterback sneak Dutt up the middle. And now it's a touchdown. So Ryan Dutt rushes for the score. His first rushing touchdown of the season. That's going to put Liberty up 6-0. And we'll look at a replay of that last touchdown rush by the quarterback right up the gut. And really, the rushing attack for Liberty was very strong on that last drive.
Yeah, definitely, Brian. They spread out the field, 2 wide receivers on both sides, along with the running back with them. But I think the key factor was putting Higgins in that pistol formation because, the running back's behind the quarterback, obviously. And that being said, it's hard for the linebackers and the defensive backs to see which side of the field he's going. So I think that played a huge factor. Wood may not be, used to seeing that, and I think Liberty took advantage of that.
Yeah, Higgins got a lot of great looks, especially to the right side. And down when it was second down and goal at the 6-yard line, they changed it up and went to the left side as well. So good play calling, not going strictly to one side of the field all the time, be a little unpredictable. That allowed Liberty to score that touchdown, and Jake Croteau put home the point after attempt. So with 5:22 left in this first quarter, the Liberty Lions lead the Wilsey Wood Wildcats 7-0. And so Croteau and company will kick off to Wilsey Wood. That offensive drive for Wood, not what you wanted with a quarterback change with Asa Wande. His inexperience showed when he botched the snap. He really just took his eyes off the ball in the shotgun formation. So it's really tricky when Coach Mraz, you lose the starting quarterback that you developed for the last 2 years. What do you do now? Andy Jones came in with no touchdowns and 1 interception in 2 games played. So he tried something with the athletic Wande, but not sure how it's going to work out.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach Mraz handles his offense after that turnover that led to the score.
And so Johan Diaz is actually going to kick it short, and they make a nice return out of it, does Wilsey Wood. He's going to be tackled right at the 38-yard line. That is Adonis Dennis. So pretty good field position for the Wilsey Wood Wildcats at the 38-yard line with 5:18 left in this first quarter. Liberty Lions up 7-0. We'll see if Wande is going to stay at the quarterback position. And he will, with McFadden split to his left. 3 wide receivers and then tight end. They're going to fake the handoff. Wande up the middle. Tries to make a move to elude Vaki. He stays on his feet, lunges forward at the 45 for a nice gain on first down of 7.
I like that. A read option, you don't see that, traditionally in high school football, especially out of the spread formation. Wood could take advantage of that if they really wanted to, keep Liberty guessing. And
they are going to keep them guessing with Andy Jones checking in for Wande. So after that Wildcat run of 7 yards, they're going to go with the pistol look with Jones. Our first look at Jones this season. A nice slant route tipped. Great play by Vaki. We talked about him rushing the ball there on defense. Very heads up as he had Zach Marsh-Wohan on that defensive assignment. Just stuck his paw up there and deflected that one.
Yeah, he was on the pursuit to cover Wande, and on that pursuit, able to put his hand up last second and keep the pass from going to Garcia on the outside.
And so they try to get Jones in rhythm with a quick timing route, but Liberty able to disrupt that. 3rd down and 3, 4:40 left in the first quarter. Wande in there. He's going to rush to the right side, make a defender miss. He is close to the first down. That one is going to be a matter of inches. And they are going to give him the first down. So Wande using McFadden's huge numbers, as Chris alluded to in the open, as a decoy with the 2 Wildcat runs to pick up the first down on this drive.
I mean, you could think it's kind of risky, but it's also kind of smart. You have Wande, who's very elusive and very agile, and you have him doing the read option. It's kind of clever when you think of it. Props to coach.
So Wande back in shotgun, hands it to McFadden this time. He rushes to the left side. A flag is thrown, though. So we'll see if there's some sort of holding in the midst of that first down rush. But the one thing I will say, though, is that Wande is your top receiver on the season. 8 catches for 125 yards. Obviously, no touchdowns. We talked about that. But that explosive wide receiver threat is now your quarterback, so you lose that big playability from your top receiver, essentially.
Not only that, you risk something like that just happened when we have a holding call and it pushes you back 5 yards.
Yeah, when you're having trouble at the quarterback position pushing the ball down the field, a 1st and 20 seems like first in eternity.
Yeah.
So we're approaching 4 minutes left in this first quarter as the holding penalty could be potentially drive killing for this Will C. Wood offense. Jones back out there for the Wildcats in the pistol. He'll take a 3-step drop, a screen pass to McFadden, and a great individual play there by Sione Vaki all over the field. There's about 3 Lions trying to get Jones in the backfield. Only Vaki was able to tackle him. And we'll look at the screen pass as, I'll actually give credit to number 20 for the Liberty Lions, Trevor Tyson as well. He is the one who stayed home on that screenplay, and that ultimately ended in no gain.
Terrible, terrible blocking from the Wood offensive line. They would have got McFadden through that first guy, he would have been gone.
Yeah, so big play lost there as Jones hands it to Chris Catlin. Our first look at Catlin as he tries to get the edge, but he's going to be pushed out right around midfield. And so a couple of Lion defenders, and Lawrence and Bell, pushed out the speedy Chris Catlin. And I like to see Catlin get involved as well. Only 9 touches on the year. I believe it was 5 catches or 4 carries, or vice versa. One of the two. Yeah, 4 catches, 5 carries. So getting the ball on an electric player like Chris Catlin could jumpstart this offense.
That could have been really dangerous if he made it around that corner and he was just nothing but open field. That could have been extremely dangerous, especially with Catlin's speed.
So Jalen Greer checking in to the ball game. He's going to be under center for this one. So our third quarterback of the game for Will C. Wood. We talked about the 2 quarterback system for Liberty. Will C. was like, we got 3. And so that inside handoff is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Chris Catlin not able to get any space. And like Chris said, blocking an issue there on that last play as well.
That looked like they didn't know what they were exactly doing. They're trying to do a little trickery, but did not work, and Liberty able to stuff him at the line.
Yeah, I know it's not Halloween, but trick or treat. That was not a treat or a trick. It was just a bad play.
How many puns are you going to throw out there today, Brian?
I'm not sure. We'll see. We've still got 2:20 left in this first quarter, so plenty of time for some bad puns. As Austin Clark, the punter. Oh, that one is tipped at the line. And it almost it takes a fortunate Will C. Wood bounce, and ultimately you get it to the 35-yard line. Not enough, but special teams put a lot of pressure there on Austin Clark and got a couple of a pair of hands on that punt. So 2:03 left in this first quarter. And Jay Butterfield, so our 5th quarterback of the game. If you had the over-under at 4.5 quarterbacks, shame on you for betting on high school sports. But you would lose as well, as the over has happened here with Jay Butterfield. In the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to either side of the formation. A little hook pass to Zane Hinosa. Oh, and a nice punishing hit from one of the safeties. Or actually, it's the linebacker, Nick DeVore. So a quick timing route for Butterfield. I like that play call to try to get this cold quarterback into a rhythm quickly.
Good way to start him off with a nice little curl route. Get his arm nice and warm.
Believe it or not, the 4th quarterback that came in, he's the only quarterback to throw a touchdown for Wood.
So that's interesting. We'll see what Wood has going forward with Greer, Jones, and Wande. Butterfield here will hand it off to the tailback for Liberty. He'll lunge forward close to a first down. And that is Brendan Bell. And that is good enough for the first down. So they will move the chains here as we approach 1 minute left in this first quarter. The score is 7-0. The Liberty Lions scored on their 2nd drive of the ball game with a Ryan Deck quarterback sneak right at the goal line. Shotgun, 3 wide receivers to the top of the screen. They're going to go with the screen pass over to Bell. He's going to be tackled by one of the Will C. Wood defensive backs. Good tackle by Isaac Pewitt in open field. So it's going to be a short gain of about 5.
Butterfield's actually looking a lot better in just 2 weeks. Like, he's seeming a lot more calm in the pocket, getting his foot planted and making accurate throws.
Yeah, I like the play calling from the coaching staff a lot better with the screen pass and that little curl route rather than those timing slant patterns that a more experienced quarterback is used to in Dutt. So Butterfield, 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the formation in the pistol, hands it off to Bell. He's going to be stuffed after a gain of about 2. So that will be the last play of the first quarter. Liberty Lions lead the Will C. Wood Wildcats 7-0. And so, guys, Wildcats really struggling on both sides of the ball. Is there anything that you guys can think of to really get them more involved in this game?
I mean, as far as offensively, Brian, I don't know what the the recipe for success is for them. Maybe the Wildcat, Wande at the quarterback, working a little bit better on the read option, trying to duke them out. But defensively, they got to tighten up the defensive line, excuse me. Liberty's having their way running the ball against them. Once they get past those first 4 defensive tackles, they only have 1 linebacker, and usually the running back has a hole and he can, fake them out. So I think Wood's got to buckle down, play their game. Don't let, the injuries, don't let anything else get in their way. Just play their game, and it should be a close one.
You know what I think is the key to success is if we took this team, put them on Madden, and had you at the controls at the Wildcat system. You seem to really love the Wildcat in Madden.
No, he loves the triple option. That's what he loves.
I love the triple option on the pistol. That is guaranteed success in Madden.
And, hey, they are the Will C. Wood Wildcats, right? So wouldn't the Wildcat offense be something pretty successful? That's a 2.
Look at you, Brian. Look at you.
2 on the punt counter.
I'm counting 5 tonight.
Okay.
I'm counting 5.
Okay.
Oh, I think he's going 10 easily.
So the over-under. Okay. That's going to be pretty difficult, but...
You got it, Brian. I'm writing it down as we speak.
Though.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's your tally.
Let it flow.
We got 2. There's your tally.
So the second quarter will start here with a 3rd down and 3 for the Liberty Lions. Jay Butterfield out there trying to pick up this first down, continue the drive that they started. They are in Wildcat territory at the 47-yard line in the I formation. Brandon Bell, and that was great defense by the Will C. Wood Wildcats. No sort of room for Bell in between the tackles. So that's going to be 4th down and short.
He ran into a wall. Like, you just see him running, he hits a wall, and then falls.
But yeah, there's a big number 75 in the middle of that defensive line, and Kamani Curry. And you look at some of the other Will C. Wood defenders surrounding Curry. I think he's got such a big orbit around him that the gravitational pull means that. Never mind. All right. Pistol formation. They're going to go for it here. So aggressive play calling by Liberty, and a great pickup there by John Fio, the starting tailback. So really, Brendan Bell got a lot of touches on this drive with Jay Butterfield, but they turned to John Fio when they needed it the most. And we'll look at a replay of the last 4th down conversion, and great job. Will C. Wood tried to tackle him at the line of scrimmage, but Fio just too strong and carried Cameron Moore on the other side of that first down. So first down at the 40. Fio again right up the middle, stuffed. He'll lunge forward for a pretty nice gain on first down.
And he just tucks and runs, and he's nimble enough to get in between the holes, and he can turn a nothing play into something.
And he has one of the best traits that a running back can have, that he falls forward at the end of the play, because your height really is an advantage. You get that extra 2 yards when really his momentum stopped after a gain of 2, but because he fell forward, that's a 4-yard gain on first down. With 10:25 in the second quarter, Liberty leads 7-0. Butterfield in the pistol. A little wide receiver screen to Vaki. He tries to break a tackle. Will lunge forward, but be marked down at the 35-yard line. So good discipline on Will C. Wood's defense, I would say, so far, in managing to not miss those open field tackles that results in huge plays for Liberty.
Yeah, I think Wood, as far as defensively, and I'd like to see the linebackers move up towards the line of scrimmage right there. Fill those gaps, fill those holes. That way, Higgins doesn't have, and Theo even, doesn't have a hole to run in.
And so 3rd down and 6, 9:35 in this second quarter. Butterfield in the shotgun, a little timing route, and it hits Vaki right in the chest. Was not ready for that one. So that is an opportunity missed to pick up that 3rd down. We'll bring up 4th down.
And you wonder if that has to do with anything as far as the connection. Butterfield not seeing as many, snaps and working with his receivers to establish that connection.
And so he'll look to try to find a connection here on 4th down, as 4th down and 6, 9:30 left in the second quarter. Lions trying to add on to their 7-0 lead here. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers to the right side of Butterfield, 1 to the top of the formation in Hinosa. He's going to go with the timing route again. Exact same play call, but this time connected. Broke about 3 tackles before he is brought down, was Jaron Easter Williams.
Well, he was a little pinball out there, just bouncing off defenders.
And we'll look at the replay of the slant pattern. It's a little faded in there, and there you see 1, 2, 3, the pinball of Jaron Easter Williams. He's not fragile like an Easter egg. Put another one on the tally. 1st down and 10. They're going to hand it to Theo, and he's going to fall forward yet again for a nice gain on 1st down. 9 minutes left in this first half. They are within the red zone at the 15-yard line are the Lions offense with Jay Butterfield. This is a much better Jay Butterfield than we saw against Vacaville. Really, he only had 1 successful drive as a quarterback against Vacaville that resulted in a touchdown. Here, knocking on the door. Again, 1-step drop. Oh, nice, strong-handed catch by Jack Hodgson. He tries to get some extra yards, but he has enough for the 1st down.
So that's where, playing back off coverage, and we'll see what it does as far as defense. More towards the goal line, you gotta play up on the guy. You gotta play up, you gotta play smash mouth football, see who's tougher. I don't like the back off thing, and you'll see here, you'll see the linebackers spread out. You'll have one linebacker behind the defensive lineman. And Higgins is that Higgins out there?
It's Theo.
Theo's gonna walk in right here.
And so a motion man comes across the formation, and they're going to go with the wide receiver screen to Hinosa, but that low throw unable to be completed. So another miscue from the Liberty Lions passing game, a misconnection with the top receiver for the Liberty Lions in Zane Hinosa. Now bring down 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line. So there's a plethora of opportunities here, a lot of play calling possibilities. You talked about Theo rushing. There's 2 wide receivers to both sides of the formation. Theo gets the handoff, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of holes there between the guards so far for Liberty. Great job by Wilsey Woods defense. And there you see just the sheer size of 34 Cameron Moore and the girth of Kamani Curry. It's going to be a hard rush between the tackles.
As he walks off the field.
I like that right there. They brought the safeties up towards the slot receivers, and they bunched up the defensive line and the linebackers, and it stuffed the holes right there. That's what they got to do as far as when Liberty gets in the red zone.
That was a great look at Isaac Pewitt just a second ago walking to cover Jack Hodgson. So they're going to go Zane Hinosa with the slant. Beautiful play call for the touchdown. Butterfield to Hinosa, smooth as butter for the touchdown, 13-0. And really, that was a great play call once again from Liberty. They put 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the formation, single coverage against a quarterback, and like Chris said, back off coverage. So you just take a couple steps in, slant pattern, wide open end zone.
And that's where, as far as Stansbury on the outside with Hinosa, one-on-one coverage right there, you gotta play up on him. And it's high school football. You're not going to see a fade route and a back shoulder pass.
Yeah.
You're going to see typically about 90% of the time a slant route. So you got to play coverage in towards the middle of the field. And if he beats you out, he beats you out.
And there you get a look at the score. 7:24 left in this first half. 14-0 is the score. Liberty Lions just got that point after attempt over the crossbar for the tack-on extra point. And so we'll see Wood. We will see what will happen on offense. So far, 3 different quarterbacks. And there's this saying in like the NFL, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. But for the Liberty Lions, 2 quarterbacks has really benefited them, each coming up with a scoring drive of their own. It's Will C. Wood that really has to try to find an answer at the quarterback position.
I kind of feel like now when we're seeing Liberty for the second time, they're slowly easing Butterfield into that starting role because this is Dutt's last year. So instead of just throwing him out there with only a little bit of experience, they're giving him more and more experience every time they play.
Yeah, and it's really benefiting to a program for the consistency and the longevity of it. Because, like you said, if this trend continues, then you have Butterfield in the Dutt position, and then you can bring up somebody from the JV squad to fill the Jay Butterfield role, give him a couple of opportunities to make plays at the quarterback position. So the kickoff by Croteau is going to be fielded by the speedy Chris Catlin. He's going to bring it to the right side of the field. He has some blockers. Oh, but he's going to be tackled outside, out of bounds, short of the 35-yard line. Man, that guy's just speedy and electric. Just give him some open field and some blocking. He can definitely put some points up on the board for the Will C. Wood Wildcats. All right, Zach Shane in there on offense. Chris Catlin, Daniel McFadden.
Okay, we got Jones in there too.
And Andy Jones will be the quarterback. Asa Wande going to play wide receiver.
See, this is where you got Zach Wojam in the slot, right side. Put him in a seam route up top.
So Catlin was in motion, but McFadden gets the handoff, and he is swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage by Peyton Zdroik for a loss of 2 on that first down run. So try to create a little motion and deception with Chris Catlin, but good discipline and good penetration by the Liberty Lion defense. Second down and 12. With 6:50 left in this first half. Lions now lead 14-0. Wildcats trying to get into scoring position for the first time, trying to get close to that red zone. Andy Jones in the pistol. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Marsh Wojan in motion. They're going to go deep. Oh, and that is just a miscommunication. Dominic Garcia didn't even find the ball in the air, and really it looked like Jones threw it before Garcia was even open. And then we'll look at the last play there and see Marsh Wojan in motion. And then Garcia could not see it.
That could have worked.
What, the replay or the play?
Both. Both. That could have worked. The play could have worked just if there was a little bit more communication between Jones and Garcia.
Jones, really a no-step drop and a tip pass. And Asa Wande makes the completion. So he tipped it to himself and was able to pick up that first down. And tackled out of bounds.
That's an NFL type route right there. Back shoulder pass before he even looks. Great job from Jones.
And there you see Wande's playmaking ability, and that's kind of the struggle you have putting him at the quarterback position. You want to have as many playmakers as you can to help a young, inexperienced quarterback like Andy Jones. And there, the experience of Wande pays off as this drive continues. A little shocking as the Wildcats had seemingly no momentum so far, as McFadden, again, behind the line of scrimmage. That's about the 4th or 5th tackle for loss we've seen from the Will C. Wood Wildcat offense.
Their offensive line is just not doing their job right now of getting holes open for Catlin and McFadden because they're getting nothing.
And so first down loss of a yard will bring second down and 11. 5:30 left in the second quarter. Again, Andy Jones in the pistol. 2 wide receivers to either side of the formation. Looks like a blitz is coming. And, oh, it's going to be intercepted on the left side. Could be pick six. Nothing but green in front of him. Nicholas Enos to the house. So pick six by the Lions defense, and the Wilsey Wood Wildcats offense is sputtering, folks. 20-0.
It looks like Jones didn't see him right there. You know, him being quick the first 2 attempts he's thrown. That third one, again, quick, and, you know, did not see the defender. Easy walk in.
Yeah. So Nicholas Enos is stoked on the sideline. 5:11 left in this first half. 20-0 is the score.
And with that, that's Andy Jones' second interception of the season.
Yeah, he now has more touchdowns for the other team than he does for his own team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Point after attempt up and good. It is no good, excuse me. You kind of have an interesting angle we don't exactly see right down the goalposts. So it had enough leg, but it missed to one of the sides of the goalposts. 20-0 is the score.
I believe it was the right side. Almost a 21 skunk, as they say in Madden.
Oh, so 5-11. The Lions defense comes up with a scoring play to really change. It doesn't really change anything. It's just continuing the momentum that they've had on offense. The little momentum that they gained picking up a third down completion by Asa Wande, that play is basically nullified with that pick six.
One thing it does change is Jones's confidence in himself, and that's going to be something that he's going to need to work on by himself, able to build that confidence, and his coaches need to build that confidence, because if you don't have confidence in yourself and you just are just throwing it up there, it's just going to go downhill for you very, very fast.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's like a coaching problem thing too, because they're calling pretty simple plays of one-step drop, three-step drops as simple reads, as Chris Catlin bobbles that kickoff attempt, stumbles. Oh, and he still doesn't have the ball. He did not possess the ball. And so Liberty is going to get excellent field position right at the 2-yard line. And a flag is actually thrown on the sideline of Liberty, as the coaching staff is not too happy with the bench.
And that was actually Asa Wande with the ball,
Oh, it was Wande.
not Catlin. And that's the second time that a ball has gone through his fingers. One when he was playing quarterback, now when he's trying to receive the kickoff. It's just going, and I just don't.
Yeah, so I believe they're going to pick up the flag because the marker is at the 2-yard line for Liberty. So unbelievable. A calamity on special teams. The second miscue for the Wildcats on special teams. We saw a punt partially blocked, and there Asa Wande just doing too much too quickly, and his body couldn't catch up with the speed of his mind, and he could not field that ball cleanly. He had about 3 attempts to just fall on the ball, and yeah, you're pinned back at the 2-yard line. It's actually at the 1-yard line, but ultimately Liberty, they get another turnover. Jay Butterfield out there with John Fio in the backfield as the lone running back. They're going to go I formation here.
Just bad turn of events for Wilsey Wood. It's just not getting better for them right now.
So Sione Vaki is going to be the fullback, trying to lead the way for John Fio. Here with at the 1-yard line, they could either rush it in. We saw the complete some slant passes with Hinosa and Jack Hodgson out there as the 2 wide receivers for Lions. Butterfield under center. They're going to go quarterback sneak. And there's going to be a that's going to push him back 5 yards. And so they tried to get their second quarterback sneak for a touchdown of the ball game with Butterfield, but some movement on the formation will push them back 6 yards. And so a little bit of breathing room for the Wilsey Wood defense, as they're not right up against their goal line. But we've seen them complete some good timing patterns throughout the game. So 6 yards, obviously within striking range for the Liberty Lions, as 5 minutes even left in this second quarter. 20-0 is the score. Liberty Lions ahead of the Wilsey Wood Wildcats. Pistol formation for Butterfield. 2 wide receivers to the top of the screen, 2 wide receivers at the bottom of the formation. Fio behind Butterfield. Taking his time. Going to hand it off to Fio. He's going to try to make some room on the left side, but is going to be swallowed up by big number 34, Cameron Moore.
It's a big guy right there throwing down Fio. Got to keep him out there on the edge. Secure that edge for Wood.
Yeah, Moore is a giant out there. He's like Fio, Fio, Fo, Fum. That was a little forced, but 4.5.
4 1/4.
4 1/4.
We are in the second quarter. 4:25 left. Man in motion in Vaki. They're going to toss it to Fio. And he makes one tackle miss, but he is going to be tackled right around the 9-yard line. So they're moving backwards here. Wilsey Wood's defense is staying strong despite the adversity that they've been up against all game long.
Yeah, force them, to kick that field goal because, high school football.
We saw them miss the PAT.
Exactly.
Yeah.
High school football, it's kind of hard to find a secure kicker that can actually kick the ball successfully.
And it is a windy night here at Thompson-Eno Stadium. 3:45 left in the second quarter. So the wind pushes the ball towards that goalpost. It could affect the accuracy of Croteau. There's a couple timing routes, and that's off the hands of Jack Hodgson. And there, when you have slants, you can't hold on to the ball that late and expect to really complete the pass. But it did hit Hodgson right in the hands. And so that's going to bring up 4th down and goal.
Looks like they're going for it.
They are. So that's the comfort of a 20-0 lead and a Wilsey Wood offense that has yet to show anything really impressive. The Lions defense just scored a pick 6 last Wilsey Wood offensive possession. So good risk here from the Liberty Lions. They're going to roll Butterfield out to the left. He has a man open in the flat, but he's going into the back of the end zone and incomplete. So Butterfield went with it looked like Hodgson, no, actually Hanosa in the back of the end zone when he had a man out in the flat. So interesting decision making, turnover on downs. So ultimately that Asa Wande special teams error does not cost them any points, and they get the ball back at the 10-yard line.
That's the second time that he actually had a man open in the flat, because last time he had looks like Devin Willis. Yeah, it looked like Devin Willis was open, and he just tried to go a little bit farther and just go straight for the touchdown, and he tried it again, and with that, it ended up with the turnover.
And so Andy Jones back out in the pistol. 2 wide receivers to either side of the formation. They're going to go with the wide receiver bubble screen. He had one blocker in Marsh Wojan, and with the run after the catch, that's going to be a first down gain of 5 yards. So 3:10 left in this first half. The Wildcats would like to get some momentum here on offense, but if we're going to be completely honest, they'd love to just run out the clock and just keep it at 20-0, not give the Lions an opportunity to score one more time.
Yeah, don't force anything. Yeah, if you're Jones, don't force anything. Give it to McFadden like that.
And he bounces to the outside, and he's going to get a first down. So good individual play by McFadden, the longest rush of the game so far for the star tailback for the Wildcats.
Quiet day thus far for McFadden. It's kind of sad just because, he's been their workhorse for the first 2 games. And, if we didn't know that, this game, we'd think that he was, one of the worst players. It's the offensive line that's got to put in their work, give him those holes to work with.
And on that rush, there was 2 tight ends on that play, so that definitely benefited them. And there's going to be, I believe, an illegal motion. Yeah. So penalty backs them up 5 yards. So just when they get some momentum, an illegal substitution penalty, is the call that will back them up 5 yards. 1st and 15. We're approaching 2 minutes left. We're at 2:15 left in the second quarter. pistol formation. 2 tight ends, 1 running back. They're going to go with the swing pass to McFadden, and that was just thrown way too hard, and McFadden could not pick it up. He had to pounce on it because it could have been a backward lateral based off of the angle that McFadden ran his route. So that's going to be another loss on the play. 2nd down.
If Jones can just stick in the pocket just a little bit longer, he'll have his receivers open. I mean, you saw, I don't know about you guys, but I saw in that one his receivers crossing, you know, the field, all of them open, you know, wide green field. I mean, I don't know. You just got to, as an offensive line, I think you just got to put in that work to give him that time. And I know I keep emphasizing that, but it all starts with the guys up front.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I remember last year, even with Carson Strong, stellar statistics, he was always on the run. It seemed like it couldn't step up at times. And so that offensive line really is the key to your offense, as Chris Catlin on the jet sweep will be touched out of bounds after that 2nd down rush.
Yeah, but you are right. Last season, Carson was always on the run, always throwing off his back foot. He could never really get comfortable in the pocket. And it looks like that's not even changing one season later.
And ultimately, when you have a strong arm like Carson Strong does have, like, you can make up a lot of things with arm talent when you don't have your footing underneath you. But when you're inexperienced quarterback like Andy Jones or even the backup Jalen Greer, you need a clean pocket in order to really be successful. We've seen that with Butterfield. When he has his feet underneath him, that's when he's accurate. And it's the same for the Wilsey Wood side. If you don't have the foundation underneath you, it's hard to expect a lot of things from your quarterback. So 1:35 left in this first half. 20-0 is the score. Liberty Lions ahead of the Wilsey Wood Wildcats after a couple of offensive touchdowns from quarterback Ryan Dutt, as well as a connection from Jay Butterfield to Zane Hanosa, and then a pick 6 by Nicholas Enos.
A little bit of a different game that we're seeing compared to when they were facing Vacaville, where it was 2 really good offenses and 2 semi-okay defenses, and now we're just kind of just seeing a completely different team where we have good offense, not really good defense with Wilsey Wood, and not really a strong offense like they once had.
Yeah, it was really a shootout, the first game we had on the high school football season here at Solano College Sports Network. Wilsey Wood trying to get something here. 3rd down and long. 3rd and 14, 1:35. There you look at Jalen Greer, his 3rd snap in the shotgun formation. They're going to bring one of the wide receivers out into a tight end formation. So Greer, some happy feet, and that one just flutters out of the pocket. So it looked like he was hit as he threw the ball. So good pressure by the Lions. Number 55, Reese Watkins Nelson, in the midst of that pile to disrupt that passing play. So 1:28 left. They're going to get excellent field position. Zane Hanosa is back there to punt, return for the Liberty Lions. We've seen him have excellent receiving numbers. We'll see what he can do here in the kicking game. There you go. Look at Hanosa. Snap is good. Oh, and that one just miskicked. And that is going to get a good Wilsey Wood bounce, though, at the 40-yard line. There's going to be a flag away from the play, though. There's a little chippiness on the right side of the formation. One of the gunners for Wilsey Wood was getting it with one of the special teamers for the Lions, and I saw a Wildcat get thrown down to the ground, maybe a little excessive, not sure what you call it, dead ball foul.
Excessive.
Unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, so that personal foul is going to back him up. So, honestly, a boneheaded play because you had great field position at the 40-yard line with 1:17, and your offense pretty well. They had a lot going for them. Still do. 45-yard line now for Ryan Dutt and company. So we'll see if they can get a score here with about 77 seconds left. Dutt in the shotgun with Kenroy Higgins. Haven't seen him for quite a while, but they've been really rotating those 3 backs, and that's going to keep them all fresh. And with the Lions offense staying on the field so long, that's definitely going to catch up with the Wilsey Wood defense. Dutt, 3-step drop, tries to escape to his left side, does. He's going to rush for a gain of about 1, and more importantly, gets out of bounds, saves a timeout. They have 2 left, 1:08 left in this first half. So some nice mobility out of Ryan Dutt, not necessarily a mobile quarterback, I would say, but showed a nice pocket awareness that he didn't get the timing route that he wanted. So instead of forcing it like Butterfield did, we saw that in the red zone, he just scrambled out to his left, got out of bounds, lived to fight another day.
And great job from Cameron Moore on the outside right there, containing Dutt to only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, there's some impressive things you can say about the Wilsey Wood defense. Some good size and athleticism and discipline. The check down to Higgins, he's going to run out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Took an interesting route out of bounds. Could have picked up maybe another yard.
Maybe a couple more.
Yeah.
Put your head down, go out of bounds.
But, you know, what are we to say about his body? He's the one who has to feel it the next day, not us. So 3rd down and 7. 1:01 left in this second quarter. Higgins still out there in the pistol, excuse me. Dutt, 3-step drop. Oh, and he forces it. Tipped by Marsh Wolhound and still completed. Oh, so Dutt was playing with fire, trying to get it over the big 6'5" Marsh Wojan. And Sione Vaki able to keep that concentration and complete that catch.
Dutt cutting it way too close right there. Wojan could have easily walked in for a touchdown.
So the clock is still rolling, 45 seconds at the snap of the ball. Dutt looking downfield, going to go to the check down with Higgins. Going to get an angle towards the sideline. He's going to cut into the middle of the field, and he's going to pick up some nice yardage. So a good, really, I was good. It's a risky play, obviously, but you do have the 2 timeouts. So he was aware that you have some timeouts to play with. Everybody thought he was going to give himself up like he did the last time. Cut to the middle of the field, saw some green, and much closer into the red zone, and they call the timeout at the 18-yard line.
And you wonder if when he was running towards the sideline, someone on the sideline said, no, you got 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and so whatever alerted him to the situation, it was risky, but because you have the 2 timeouts saved, you're in the red zone now, 30 seconds. You have the entire field to play with because you have the timeout remaining and 31 seconds. So Liberty in a good position to add on to that 20-0 score with 30.9 seconds left in the first half. You are watching the Solano College Sports Network with Brian Nelson alongside Josh Kinder, Chris Zavaglia. You can watch all of our content on Channel 27 if you live in the Fairfield area, as well as youtube.com/Solano College Sports Network. Join us on Facebook, Solano College Sports Network. YouTube.com/user/Kahuna is another place you can find our content, as well as follow us on social media. Get behind-the-scenes pictures, SCSN Sports on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
30 seconds to go, first down, ball to 19.
I gave the wrong channel. Channel 28 is our channel. Channel 27 is Fairfield Cable Access, which we are partners with and are so grateful for. Ryan Dutt scrambles out to his left side, and he has a receiver open too high, and a hit just to send a message. And that was Asa Wande, and they are going to throw the flag, I believe.
Wow.
Asa taking out some frustration.
What a lick.
Kind of shocked on that one. I mean, he was hitting him in motion. You know, what happens if you caught the ball then?
Yeah,
right there?
exactly.
I mean, as a ref, you gotta see. You know, it's so hard to stop your momentum right there if you're Wande. And so, I mean, I think he was just showing his frustration, and I think that's the reason why they threw that flag.
Yeah, so we'll see if they maybe potentially pick it up because they had a little discussion with the 3 refs. Yeah, they are going to call it on Wande, that penalty, so that's going to march them forward. So not only does it stop the clock, you get some yards, inch closer to the end zone. 22.1 seconds. Still got that timeout as well. And maybe they deem that pass uncatchable. Could be another.
It looked like it almost hit his hands.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
They're trying to find some sort of explanation for the Zebras on that play call, or excuse me, that penalty call. 9 yards to go for the Liberty Lions as they are on the prowl. Trying to get this touchdown here. Ryan Dutt. 3-step drop. Pump fakes. He has some field in front of him. He's going to cut into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play in the backfield. So maybe a hold to get him that hole in the middle of that offensive line. And so a hold is going to be called on Liberty. So that actually not only does it back him up 10 yards, but the play counts off of the clock. So about 8 seconds ticked off there. 13.5. And there's going to be a 19-yard, 19 yards to go.
Huge hit right there.
And so Ryan Dutt will have to probably make a play with his arm. You have probably 2 shots at the end zone with 13.5, and you have 1 timeout, so you can even work the middle of the field, call a quick timeout. So we'll see what Liberty does here as the senior quarterback. He's 6'5" as well. Did not realize that.
He didn't look like it.
I mean, you know, there's a little embellishment on the roster size, trying to get some guys some looks like 6'5" quarterback. Wow. Ryan Dutt, nice pocket mobility. He's going to rush to his left side.
Here we go
and
again.
He has a blocker in front of him in Vaki, and he's going to be nailed out of bounds short of the end zone, 3.8 seconds. So I was telling I said Ryan Dutt's not a mobile quarterback, but he got some good feet there.
Showing some elusiveness.
Yeah. It's not the quick blazing speed that you would see from a typical mobile quarterback, but kind of that Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers kind of sneaky speed. It's not because he's white. Am I gonna have to talk about the elephant in the room?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, you're good. You're good. No, he definitely showed. I mean, after that first one that you said, you know, as far as him being a mobile quarterback, you know, the past couple plays that they've had, he's definitely shown some really nice footwork. And like you said, he reminds me more of an Alex Smith rather than an Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Smith definitely, I remember when I first saw him play and he actually came out of the pocket and ran, I was kind of impressed and shocked by his speed.
And what impressed me, too, is that we talk about the senior experience of a Ryan Dutt, that when the pocket collapses around you, it's hard not to try to escape out the back way and try to rush, but to feel comfortable stepping up in the pocket and then rush just shows kind of the maturity that he has as a player. And he was able to get about 15 yards on that scramble, have one play to try to punch it into the end zone here. Ryan Dutt, Kenroy Higgins will be the running back. He's had a nice game so far.
Watch out for Hinosa on the outside, one-on-one with Stansbury.
There is a second Wildcat shadowing.
Looks like he's got help.
So Dutt, 4 yards to go, 3.8. They're going to go with slant patterns and good pressure by the Wildcats. Swallowed him up.
Finishing him off is Kakuza.
Yeah, Anthony Guzman wrapped him up.
Actually, excuse me.
Yeah, Anthony Guzman in there with the pressure, and one of the other Wildcats really was it Vega?
Yeah, it looks like Vega.
So Gabe Vega and Anthony Guzman hold the Lions scoreless on that red zone opportunity. They've come up 0 for 2 in the last 2 red zone opportunities if you want to look at the bright spots for Will C. Wood, but fellas, not a lot of bright spots so far for Will C. Wood.
Not at all. The defense has got to step it up, and they have, you know, in the second quarter, I feel like they buckled down kind of. You know, they started off slow in the first quarter, but, you know, in order for them to get back in this game, we all know what it is. It's the offense. They got to get things going, give it to McFadden, open up some holes. get this offense going.
And Josh, what do you expect in terms of second half adjustments for either side, really?
For either side, honestly, I'm expecting their offensive line for Wilsey Wood to be a lot stronger and together so they can stop the pocket from collapsing all around Andy Jones. And then for Liberty, I'm just expecting them to keep doing what they're doing. I'm expecting them to have so much time in the pocket for the plays to develop and for the runs to go through. It's just like they're playing perfect football right now.
Yeah, and talking about second half adjustments, we're going to make a second half adjustment here at SCSN. I'm going to hand over play-by-play duties to Josh Kinder when we come back. 20-0 is your score. Liberty Lions ahead of the Wilsey Wood Wildcats.
If you have an interest in a career in sports broadcasting,
Whether it's behind the scenes or on camera,
Then this is the class for you.
Class is held every Wednesday from 1:30 to 4:30 in room 121 alongside the library building.
For more information, contact Greg Poff. That's me at solano.edu.
we hope to see you here next semester. And remember,
It's more than just sports. It's an education.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Wilsey Wood and Liberty football game. Beginning of the third quarter, it is 20-0 Liberty, as we have Asa Wande and Chris Catlin back to receive the kickoff. And it is away. It is going to be one hop bounce by Catlin as he's going to make a run up the middle, make a few moves, and is going to be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now, as we saw in the first half, Wilsey Wood offense could not get anything going. And before we cut to commercial, we pretty much talked about the changes that both teams needed to make. And one thing consistently was the offensive line just needed to protect Andy Jones that was being as the quarterback. And hopefully we could see that they are going to make those adjustments. But looks like it is going to be Jalen Greer at quarterback to start the second half. In the pistol formation, as he is going to hand off to Daniel McFadden, who makes a few cuts. He stays on his feet, but will be stopped just shy of the 40-yard line.
That was an ankle-saving tackle by Max Lawrence, because if he got free of that, he had a lot of space in front of him. But that's what McFadden has to do as kind of the leader of this team, the senior back, is to really provide that spark on offense, as that 9-yard run on first down really is going to help.
As we have Dominic Garcia, number 16, at the top of the screen, and Chris Catlin at the bottom.
And so the adjustment looks like they're going to keep with 2 tight ends for a lot of it to really help protect these young quarterbacks.
The ball is snapped, and it is just a little bit juggled, but Daniel McFadden is going to get a hand on it. But he is going to be thrown down to the ground by the Liberty defense.
They're just really getting lucky with some of these bounces, as another miscued snap. And that's the kind of thing when you have 3 quarterbacks, not one quarterback's getting all the first-team reps. So with this specific center for Wilsey Wood and Gabe Vega, people have to get used to it in the pistol formation and the shotgun. And so it just luckily bounced into the hands of McFadden. He made something out of nothing.
As we have one receiver at the top and the bottom. There is stoppage of the play.
Yeah, not sure what's going on. They're just kind of motioning to the right side towards Liberty.
Were the chains not far apart, looked like? Because
it didn't seem like the chains moved at all once they were signaling.
Wow. Jalen Greer in the backfield.
Maybe they're just playing charades.
Maybe. And he is going to hand it off to the running back, who is going to be stopped, as that is Adonis Dennis. As Liberty does have a player that is down on the field, but he will pop up.
Getting help from Zebra.
Not showing much difference. We'll see what his offense is doing, but they are moving down the field just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a difference. The 4-yard run. McFadden got a couple good rushes in there, and they're really protecting a little bit more.
As the ball is going to be handed off to Daniel McFadden, who finds room to run, and looks like he is starting to see a little bit more of green ahead of him as he is starting to get more and more yardage.
That's what the Woods got to do in order to win this game, get back into this game even.
And as you see right there on the replay, as it is handed to Daniel McFadden, he makes nice cut moves and finds the nice hole to get into the first down.
I really give credit to that offensive line for opening up the hole for McFadden to find and make a good first down run.
Man in motion as is going to be handed the ball as he cuts around the outside of the field, as that was Asa Wande.
Yeah, there might be a hold on Marsh Wojan internally on the play, but we'll see what the infraction is. There you get a look at the female referee. A lot of females breaking barriers in sports, and
that is going to be against Liberty and move the ball forward.
I think that might have been a face mask on McFadden right there. I think he was going out for a block around the edge and came across a Liberty defender.
As there you see Greer getting the call from Coach Mraz, trying to bring a little bit more aliveness, I guess you could say, into the Wilsey Wood offense to gain, as they are marching down the field, to get some points on the scoreboard.
This is so interesting. It's first down, but the line to get a first down is at the 33. They're at the 35. Yeah, so 1st and 4 because the infraction occurred in the middle of the play. So the ever so common 1st and 4.
Weird. And as that looks like a little bit confusing, but hurdles over a defender, and the flag will be thrown.
Yeah, the
Great
PA announcer.
And a flag.
Just the exasperation that I think a lot of the Wilsey Wood cheering section feels so far. This is definitely the best that the offense has looked. Whatever Coach Mraz said to his guys has really put a spark into, I think specifically the offensive line. Like Josh had mentioned before halftime that they needed to really step up their play. They've been getting nice holes open for their skill position guys, and that penalty on Liberty is not helping. We've seen a couple of penalties really hurt Liberty against Vacaville, some bad timing plays. You really got to keep your mentality sharp here in close ball games.
And now the ball will be on the 15-yard line as we have two receivers at the top of your screen.
And it's one thing to win big, but it's another to like keep your foot on the pedal and really put another team away. They're still within 3 scores.
As that ball is going to be handed off to McFadden, who is going to be just stopped completely for maybe a gain of like a yard. And there is a flag as a little bit of unsportsmanlike conduct between Asa Wande and his cornerback. 3 flags on the field.
I think it's a cat fight, Lions and Wildcats. It's really getting chippy out there.
And this is something that we saw against Vacaville as well, is when the second half hit, Liberty just got rowdy, and they were starting to make a lot of unnecessary actions that caused a lot of fouls, and that made Vacaville march down the field, which ultimately did give them the win.
You look at Max Lawrence from our side camera from Elizabeth Torres. Doing a great job. Anthony Williams up on the main camera. What's Jack's last name?
Miller.
Jack Miller. Now up there on the main camera. Got Casper over on the sideline. Unmanned third camera. We get it done here at Solana College Sports Network.
Yeah, we do.
Think about that. We have 6 people on our broadcast right now, like total. Producer, camera people, broadcasters. 6.
And we get it done.
That we do. And the penalty looks like it's on Wilsey Wood. So
interesting that it's not an offset. Offset penalties. It looks like both players got kind of chippy.
Yeah, usually it's the second player that gets caught. It's the reaction, not the initial causation of the scuffle.
So the ball will be on the 21-yard line, 1st and 15, as Jalen Greer is showing a little bit more offense now from Wilsey Wood as the ball is going down the field and actually crossing midfield.
Yeah, he hasn't really been throwing, though, so it's really been the running game and the ability, actually, them to capitalize on the mistakes that Liberty has afforded them. They've gotten at least 3 penalties on this drive. Didn't help that Wilsey Wood got a penalty of their own. So 9-10 here in the 3rd quarter, trying to get on the board for the first time. Like I said, Liberty had 2 opportunities in the red zone before halftime to put them up by even more. Didn't get it done. So if they are able to score here, they get their first chance at momentum to get back in this.
And you wonder if those 2 red zone mishaps could play a factor in this ball game. That could have blew Wilsey Wood out of the game. Liberty go up at halftime at least by 32 points. And now you got Wood driving down the field, threatening to score a touchdown to get back into this ball game.
Yeah, they're at the 1-yard line at this exact score, 20-0. And they ended up losing 9 yards total on the drive because of the Wilsey Wood defense and a Liberty miscue with a false start. But give credit to the defense being down 20-0, not giving up. Really, it's easy for a kid in high school to just kind of get down on himself and realize the game's not going your way, but that didn't let them give up in any sort of way. And now the offense has a chance to pick up the defense.
And as the game finally resumes, clock runs. As Greer is going to fake it, and he's going to launch it up and will be off the hands of the open receiver for an incomplete pass. That was Chris Catlin wide open, and he just lets it bounce right off of him.
That was a great play design right there from Coach Mraz. Set up on the outside. I want to say it was Garcia who came in the inside, and Catlin went on a wheel route wide open. But, unfortunately, I'm going to make a play.
Yeah, and give credit. It wasn't the most accurate pass by Greer, but he gave it enough air for the speedy Catlin to at least make a diving attempt at it. Just not able to make the catch. And we've seen Catlin more as a running back last year here, getting more opportunities as a wide receiver. Couldn't put that one in the end zone for 6.
Is their number 1 receiver, Asa Wane, is at the bottom of the screen, but he is going to hand it off to Daniel McFadden, who gets a good yard on that play.
Yeah, 3rd down and 15. It's going to be interesting. They're going to bring in the field goal unit, at least to get on the board, get some sort of points. So just trying to get it closer for your kicker, Austin Clark, to try to put that 0 away and put 3 points on the board.
As we saw last season, Austin Clark did have a somewhat kind of a strong foot. So 35-yard attempt, I'm pretty certain he could be able to make this.
And the wind is going to help him here.
As that is kicked through the uprights, and it is good as Wilsey Wood finally gets some points on the board. Your score is now Liberty 20, Wilsey Wood 3.
What an impressive kick by Clark. Obviously, with the right-footed kicker over on the right hash mark, you have to pull that ball. But that would have been good from 45, 50.
That was an amazing kick right there.
Yeah.
And with that, we're seeing a completely different Wilsey Wood offense as they are getting momentum and they are going down the field. As we saw in the first half, they were getting nothing.
Yeah. And so you got to take away from the positives here. You get 3 points on the board. Your offense looks like it is an offense finally and not sputtering and costing you points instead of making points for you. But it's really up to this Wilsey Wood defense to continue to keep fighting here, to keep this within striking distance for the offense, because the offense isn't electric as it has been in the past couple of years. So it's going to be important for the defense to make crucial stops here against Liberty.
And there we have Kenroy Higgins and Jaron Eastern Williams in the back to receive the kick. Looking to keep the momentum on Liberty's side, as this is going to be their first possession of the second half. And we are off as it is going to be deep into the end zone. And in high school, once it hits the end zone, it's dead. You can't run it out. And here we will have another look at Liberty's incredible offense so far as they're able to put on 20 points in the first half.
Yeah, I've dubbed the two-headed monster at quarterback Dutterfield, Ryan Dutt, Jay Butterfield. But the Dutt is out there first.
The Dutt.
The Dutt.
The Dutt.
As Dutt is going to be under center with two receivers at the bottom of your screen. As he is going to hand it off and is going to be wide open as he makes the two defenders miss as he runs down the field, cuts back on the outside, and walks out of bounds.
What nimble feet by Higgins. That was definitely going to be a first down run, but he made a great cut to elude two defenders and made the Wildcats defenders hit each other instead of make contact with Higgins, and he made a first down run, a huge play for over 20-yard gain.
Quick feet right there from Higgins. Gotta love it. I'd feed him. Start off this second half for Liberty. See what he can get us.
And for a big back, too, to see nimble feet like that, it's gotta be impressive.
As that ball is going to be handed back to Higgins as he is going to go on the outside. Slips a little bit, and that play will be stopped.
I've seen a couple different players slip on the grass here at Thompson Stadium. And apparently from our sources, which was, I think, Jack before the game.
As he was a graduate here.
Yeah, they're actually going to soon build a turf field here at Thompson Stadium once We'll See What gets their own stadium of their own.
And that stadium should be up and running by the towards the middle of this year. I think. Yeah. As we have Dutt under center. The ball will be hiked as he is going to fake hand it off, and he is going to have his receiver wide open towards the middle, as that was number 11, Jake Torres, on the reception.
It's just taking advantage of the soft spot in a zone where the middle of the field was wide open. Just a little curl route from the slot receiver. You find the soft spot in the zone, and your senior quarterback finds you. Easy pitch and catch for the first down.
Yeah, Wood plays a very soft cover two. You know, they drop off the safeties and the corners. Corners play back. It's almost like a cover four with the linebackers playing in the middle of the field. But like you said, able to find the receiver.
As that ball is going back to Higgins, as he is going to slide over to the right side of the field and gain extremely good yardage on that play.
Higgins is just really comfortable with his speed that if he finds outside room to make a cut, he will. And so he just really sets up these Wilsey Wood defenders very beautifully to make these outside cuts to find space to gain extra yards.
See, and that's what, like I've been saying all game with Wood's defense, they're playing soft as far as linebackers. They're not playing up. So Higgins' game plan is shoot up the middle, find the gap, and then bounce it to the outside where everything's open.
As that ball is going to be pitched to Higgins as he makes a few defenders miss. And as Brian mentioned, he has a great skill to dive forward. Both of the running backs do for Liberty to get a little bit more yards.
Yeah, Higgins and Fio, that's two really solid running backs for the Liberty side of things. And then Zane Hinosa has had a really quiet game, especially from the things that we saw from him when he played Vacaville. So there's a lot of offensive weapons, as well as Sione Vaki. We've seen his impact on defense. Offensively, we haven't really heard his name too much either.
And as he is right there on the right side of Dutt. And he will be pitched the ball, and as we speak his name, he shows up and does what he does.
Yeah, it looked like a little counter. They fake the toss to Bell. They fake that toss to Bell on the right side, hand it off to Vaki, cutting across the grain of the defense, trying to get Wilsey Wood to over-pursue the fake toss. Vaki able to pick up that first down. Really like the play calling from Liberty. A lot of misdirection, a lot of good plays called for their quarterbacks in terms of one-step drop, three-step drop to get them good footing.
As that ball is going to be handed off to Vaki once again. and he spins, cuts around the other side of the field, still stays on his feet, and he has nothing but green in front of him, and that's a touchdown for Liberty.
What can you say? Individual effort from Sione Vaki. You don't see that too often at the highest levels of football, but you toss it to the right side. Everybody pursues the ball, obviously. So if you make the initial defender miss at the point of attack, you're able to cut across the grain, and you have a wide open end zone for Liberty.
And not just initial defender, he made 2 defenders miss on that play.
Great vision by Vaki right there. Bounced to the outside, like we said, on the toss, and did a little dance and move and cut it to the pay dirt.
And that kick is true, and the score is now Liberty 26. We'll see what Wildcats 3. Excellent first drive for Liberty as they come back from the half, as they show that they have lost no momentum whatsoever and that they have multiple targets, with Vaki, who's finally now making a name for himself in this game, being able to cut back on the other side of the field, make 2 defenders miss, and get the 6.
Yeah, I was talking about this during halftime, but really as this game progresses, I expect Wilsey Wood's defense to kind of tire out a little bit, just because their offense doesn't sustain long enough drives to give their defense enough of a break. And with this punishing Liberty defense, they can run it with Higgins and Fio and Vaki as well as pass it with Hinosa. They make long sustaining drives, and eventually that kind of wears on a defense. And Liberty's offense is so strong that they can really exploit a really tired defense.
And there we see Michael Cole III getting ready to kick it off. This will be a short kick, and it will be received by Wilsey Wood, as that will be nothing.
You wonder if, with all these balls, slipping out of the Woods players' hands, maybe some popcorn, before the game or halftime. I mean, talk about Butterfingers.
Yeah.
Just trying to be like Brian, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
No,
just a little bit.
I was really hoping Butterfield was coming out on the field for for Liberty at that moment, but no, it's going to be Wilsey Wood.
As we have Jalen Greer still out there for his second drive. Maybe we'll see what is going for him just completely for the second half. As that ball is going to be handed. Oh, actually, no, it's going to be faked, and Jalen Greer is going to hold on to it.
So we get a first look at Greer keeping the ball and trying to use some athleticism to gain 3 yards on first down.
Showing some speed for a quarterback. I like it.
Yeah, and if he's able to run a Wildcat-like offense and keep Asawande as a potential threat on the outside, that could potentially lead to some success, as they kind of gone away from Andy Jones here in the second half. They're sticking with the 2 tight end look as well. 21 personnel.
Looks like they might have found a formation and just a look that has worked, as that ball is going to be handed off to McFadden as he gains the first down.
McFadden finding more room with this, like Brian said, 21 formation, 2 tight ends in, 2 wideouts out. McFadden in the backfield by himself and able to get some space, have some good vision, see some gaps and shoot them.
Yeah, it's just a matter of sustainability with these Wilsey Wood drives. Is you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by creating penalties that put you in first down and long, because you're having enough time converting first down and 10s. You don't want to back up to first and 15, first and 20s. So just got to stay disciplined and keep grinding here and push little by little with this running game.
As that ball is going to be handed off to Chris Catlin, who's going to make a defender miss with his speedy feet, and he's going to keep breaking down the field for another first down.
Yeah, I can't believe he got to the edge on that one, as the Lions defense on the right side had some pretty good contain on the play. Catlin's speed was just able to kind of go around, and we'll look at it on the replay as you see in the shotgun Greer. And you'll see there's good penetration. He just outruns the Lions defensive end there, Justin Giorgio, for that first down.
And talk about a spark plug. Catlin, the quick, amazing speed right there.
Quick as a Catlin.
Yes. As that ball is going to be handed off to the halfback for minimal gain. And a flag will be on the field.
Things getting chippy once again.
Yeah.
So I think we're counting that as the punt counter, quick as a Catlin.
Yeah, I think so.
I was thinking, like, when Chris almost called him Kitlin, I'm like, he's not a kitten, he's a cat, so.
And so it's going to be against Liberty again.
It's like, what, two or three unnecessary roughness?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, this is what happened with Vacaville, and this is what just ultimately led to Vacaville's win against Liberty. It's just these chippy plays that where they're just being really just very immature and unsportsmanlike. And the play will resume. So we have Greer, pistol. So he's going to hand it off to Catlin, and he cuts around the field, breaks the edge, and is going to be pushed out of bounds. And there you see a nice view by Elizabeth as on our sideline camera.
I was worried when I saw Coach go down. I thought Santa might have gotten taken out at the knees. I thought Christmas might have been canceled, but thank goodness Santa's all right.
He may be all right, but he does look mad. Saw him stomping his foot, a little bit of a fist in the air.
Someone's on his naughty list.
Is the one at your screen. As Greer is going to hand it off to McFadden. And gains about 5 yards.
A good swarm tackle there by a trio of Lions defenders. That's going to be third and manageable, though. Third and about 3 with 3:20 left in this third quarter. So Wilsey Wood able to pick up back-to-back good chunk yardage. And 3rd and 3 is exactly the kind of range you want to be when you have not really a big threat throwing-wise with Greer at the quarterback position.
As Wilsey Wood has their quarterback, Greer, who is going to hand it off to McFadden, who makes a nice juke moves, but there is going to be another players thrown down way in the backfield.
About 20 yards down the field.
They're both looking for a foul.
How about the refs? Let the players play. How about that?
Yeah, Ethan Dumont is just kind of came up shrugging his shoulders like, really?
Yeah, he was kind of, the ref was just on his knees like, all right, you can say something about this? Give me a reason to throw it? As McFadden is going to go off to the sidelines, and we now have Chris Catlin behind Greer. We have 2 receivers that are going to be at the top of your screen. And that ball is going to be handed to Catlin, who makes a few defender misses, still stays on his feet, but it will be eventually brought down.
Yeah, and really, Liberty's not forcing Greer to beat him with his arm, and they're just kind of allowing Wilsey Wood to slowly chip away at this defense 3 to 4 yards at a time. And so Wilsey Wood in the red zone for the second time in this game, second time this half.
Mm-hmm. And now we do have McFadden back in the game. Catlin did his job, and now Greer's going to keep it, and he's going to make a spin move. Still stays on his feet. Gains some nice yards on that play.
And makes something out of nothing. Spun forward, got a little help from a couple teammates to push him forward. And again, that's a 3-yard run, first down, 4-yard run on second down, and you're right back to the same situation. 3rd down and 3 with a minute 30 left in the quarter.
Yeah, how about that spin move in the middle of the pile? That's something you don't really see.
Yeah,
that's
very
usually when you get
dangerous.
blindsided
Yeah.
and you just get an ankle taken out, or something dangerous.
And it looks like, as Brian mentioned, the 2 tight ends, they're using them as more blocking, so the pocket does not fall apart, as McFadden is going to take that up the field and will scamper around trying to get the first down.
Yeah, and I think that the really benefit of the 2 tight ends coming in is that it allows those guards to be able to pull. You're not – we'll see what Wildcats don't have a zone blocking scheme where everybody just kind of puts a man on a man and you kind of make the running back make a cut. that time both guards lead the way, create some motion in there, and they've been able to put up a lot more holes for McFadden and Catlin.
And with that, they did get the first down. It will be 1st and 9. Running clock, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. As the ball is going to be handed off to Catlin, who's going to make a few defenders miss and run out of bounds.
He's got some blazing speed. That's crazy right there. It's like right when he touches it, he just zoom, takes off.
Yeah. One thing, though, is that because he's so fast, sometimes you don't see any sort of patience with Catlin. And with him having 7 blockers, the point of it is to get the blocking inside the tackles. And so sometimes I like to see him maybe slow up. I know Le'Veon Bell's style is so hard to really emulate, but kind of having that patience would kind of benefit him.
Definitely. I think McFadden shows great patience right there. Usually when you see him, thus far this game, he's really shown great patience.
That's going to be a pass, and it will be just incomplete. Great blocking by the defense.
Yeah, and just a ill-advised throw there by Greer, as that was clearly covered, that wheel route over on the right side by Max Lawrence. And when that ball floated out there, it looked like the Lions had a better opportunity to catch it than the Wildcats. So just fortunate that was just a pass breakup.
And with that, it will now be 3rd and 7. We'll see Wood trying to go back-to-back with positive yards and positive points.
Here, I think it has to be 4-down territory.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, you took the 0 off the board. You're within 7 yards. Get 2 shots at getting this touchdown.
At least make up half of it right here.
And that ball is going to be handed really late to McFadden, as he's going to be stopped in the backfield.
It looked like McFadden didn't even want the ball. There's clearly a play call mix-up because Greer literally had to chase him down to hand him off the ball. And with that busted play, that'll be the last play of the third quarter.
Very, very fast third quarter. But also what we are seeing is a little bit of momentum now for Will C. Wood, as they could possibly go with back-to-back touchdowns for both drives, or at least back-to-back points if they go for field goals.
Drives, yeah. But ultimately, this is really the key to staying in this ball game. It's a 24-point deficit, 27-3 is the score, and so you can't fall behind too much more and expect to really stay in this game realistically. If you get a field goal here, you're down 3 touchdowns, but if you go for it on 4th down, you have to make it. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting play call for Coach Morales. We've seen aggressive play calling from him in the past, but that has been with the confidence of a Marcus Howard or Carson Strong. So it's going to be interesting to see if he kind of tries to instill some confidence in his young quarterback and say, I trust you, let's go for it, or if he tries to play it safe and just try to get the points, because we saw the kicking ability of Clark. He's well within range here. It's going to be a chip shot for him. So this is an important decision-making that every head coach has to make during a game.
And it seems like we'll see what kind of found something that works for them, given the situation that they're in, how they don't really have good passing abilities with any of their quarterbacks right now, but they do have the running, and with having the 2 tight ends and having that extra blocking so they can make the holes, it almost seems like they found this out a little bit too late in this game. And with the beginning of the 4th quarter starting, switch sides of the field.
No? I thought they were going to kick a field goal.
As that ball is going to be handed off, but dropped, but it's going to be picked up by Asawande, who's got Zach going wide open, and there you have a touchdown, Wildcats. What just happened, Brian?
Trickeration on the highest level, as Asawande, 3rd bobble of the game, if that was a stat, picked it up. Wow. He winged it over to the big 6'5" target, just like they drew it up in the dirt.
Just like that. Sloppy play right there, but nonetheless, they are able to get the touchdown on the board.
It may have been sloppy, but it did work as they did get the touchdown on that play.
And honestly, him dropping it was the best thing that could have happened if he gets the ball back, because him dropping the ball sucks the entire defense towards the ball because they see free ball on the ground. It's a turnover. He picks it up. There's nobody within 5 yards of Zach Marsh-Wojan.
Yeah, he was wide open. No one was anywhere near him. He just made that cut. Just nice and safe and secure.
Yeah, having a 6'5" security blanket is really good for any sort of offense.
That's for sure.
And so Asa just had to kind of throw it up there to make sure it was a completed catch.
And it looks like they are going to go for it.
Yeah, if they connect here, it's a 16-point ball game, so that brings it within two scores. You obviously have to make 2 more 2-point conversions after this one. But, again, I talked about Coach Morales' aggressive play calling in the past. Clearly, that was an aggressive play call. I thought they were going to kick it with the formation. But clearly, he had one trick up his sleeve. We'll see what he has
Looks like
here.
he might have another one. They were lining up, and he's like, let's huddle up a little bit. I have an idea again.
Yeah, we've seen Wilsey Wood come out with some strange formations on 2-point conversions. We saw one from Vacaville last time where the entire offensive line went to the left side of the formation, and it was the swinging gate. I've seen Wilsey Wood pull something like that as well. And when you have Chris Catlin, Daniel McFadden, Zach Marsh-Wojan, Asa Wande, you have weapons offensively to kind of pull something tricky here, but they're just going to go full spread, quarterback, 5 wide receivers here.
I believe we've seen this before last season as well, as everyone's just going to go, but he's going to be completely swallowed up, and that was a dead play.
And hey, good sportsmanship, too, from Liberty. No, honestly, Justin Giorgio, we've seen chippiness on the entire game, so just seeing him get sacked and offering him a helping hand right there on our screen, I don't know. That was just kind of a nice moment.
Looks like Gray looks a little shaken up right there.
Oh, he's limping.
How much you want to see?
There you see Jalen Greer, the junior, 6'1", 170 pounds. He is limping off the field, and that's not what you want to see. But there's also our old quarterback, Carson Strong, over there giving him a little bit of props, saying, be all right, buddy. Hopefully that with the quarterback, Jalen Greer, who's only shown positive yards as for Wilsey Wood, will be okay. As I don't know what Coach Morales will do if he was injured and might not be able to come back.
Yeah, he hasn't gone to Andy Jones at any point here in the second half, and Asa Wande, his lone pass was on that trick play here in the second half.
And also his third drop-ish.
Would you go onside kick here? We've seen in the past Wilsey Wood go predominantly with the onside kick, so got to believe they're well practiced at it.
Looks like they might be ready for it as he's getting really close.
I'd pooch it right side of the field.
Yep.
Kind of cough and corner him.
Liberty thinks it's going to be some sort of pooch or
a
onside kick as one returner, 10 men up between the 40 and 50-yard line.
And it is going to be absolutely booming kick as it will be caught in the end zone by Jaron Easton Williams. Looks like they might have actually went with it, but they just maybe a last-minute decision.
Yeah, last-minute decision to be a little conservative, trust your defense. It is an 18-point ball game now. I kind of would like to have seen a kick that Liberty does a lot, which is that half kick that kind of has backspin, so it's difficult to handle. But can't argue kicking away, try to get the ball back on defense.
As we have the second head of the two quarterback monster, as Brian said, as Butterfield is going to be the quarterback of this drive. And that play is going to be stopped for a minimal game. Kind of interesting how we're still seeing the quarterback switch between Dutt and Butterfield.
They're Dutterfield. You got to play them both in the same game. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I do too. It warms my heart. It makes me so happy to say Dutterfield.
As he is going to have a play-action pass, and he's going to have his receiver wide open for the catch, as that was Jake Torres.
Again, just finding soft spots in the zone. Simple pitch and catch. Torres has done a great job of maneuvering inside the zone. Typically, when you see cover 2, you exploit the sidelines behind the corners. But with Butterfield, sometimes his accuracy is an issue. So him kind of working the middle of the field is definitely beneficial. So Torres getting open there really helps this the backup of Team Dutterfield.
As Butterfield is going to hand it off to his running back, who is going to gain minimal yards on that play.
And that's a guy that we didn't see much from against Vacaville and Brendan Bell, but he's gotten equally amount of really drives to be the lead tailback as Kenroy Higgins and John Fio as well. He's probably had more carries than Fio. So it's interesting to see a third back here for Liberty really get in some good crucial reps.
And notice at the top of your screen, as that ball is going to be handed back up to Brendan as he's going to spin, but going to be stopped just shy of the first down.
That was a great job right there from the defense of Wood. It would have pursued the running back in Liberty, and that was a great job. What stood out to me right there was Stansbury on the outside. He, he's getting blocked up from the outside. I don't know if it was from Hinosa or what on the farther side or closest side to us, but Stansbury stood his ground, made him go back into play where his teammates were, and able to cut down the gain.
And as we see Butterfield under center, and he is going to hand it off, and going to be just completely stopped as he tripped up and pushed farther back as John Fio didn't gain anything on that play.
And Fio's been the back they kind of go to during the down and distance where they have to get the first down. And there, Wilsey Wood just kept coming. A couple different defenders joined in to get that stop, and they get a 3 and out.
Something that we have not seen rare at all.
Did they get a first down on that drive?
I think they did get one first down.
So, yeah, either way, this is the first punt we've seen for Liberty.
As that punt is going to be nice and high, as it is going to be bounced.
Friendly bounce.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be right at the 20-yard line.
Can we just mention how big the punter is?
I was just going to say that.
Showing his athleticism.
Number 58. Yeah.
Wyatt Word. Word
on that.
Mother. Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
And with that, it's going to be 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard line for Wilsey Wood. As it looks like, can't really tell who's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah, I was trying to look in the huddle there from Elizabeth's side shot.
The quarterback's over there with Mraz. And it is going to be Greer. Kind of looking too used to the NFL where the quarterback isn't usually over there.
And not the same communication system.
No. As we have Catlin at the bottom of your screen, Asa at the top. As he is going to launch it, and that is going to be caught by the receiver, and he's going to go down the field, and no one is anywhere near him, and that is a touchdown. Wilsey won in one play.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but Asa definitely got
Asa up his sleeve.
Yeah, he got away with the offensive pass interference right there. That was a blatant push
and
off.
we will look at it. We'll get a clear look. Right there, folks.
There with the push. He was looking for it. And there he is, off to the races. Just the referee did not see it.
I don't know how you didn't see it. But, yeah, so Wilsey Wood, you can't argue with what they give you. So they're definitely not apologetic about scoring a touchdown in one play. And all of a sudden, 12-point ball game pending this 2-point conversion.
Completely different Wilsey Wood team, as I've said multiple times already.
Wow, I'm stunned.
We saw the play, forming and happening. I thought that was a blatant pass interference.
And that is going to be incomplete. And your score is now Liberty 27, Wilsey Wood 15.
Yeah, I'll talk about my thought process as that play was forming as well, Chris. I thought pick,
Yep.
PI, touchdown?
I thought the second was thrown, it was going to be an interception completely
I
just
didn't think
because
he
of
was
it.
gonna, make up his speed and get around the DB right there, but he picked up something right there.
Yeah,
and
it was underthrown too, and the corner on the play was Max Lawrence, and he had great inside positioning on the receiver too. So the only thing Asa could do.
No, I thought it was going to be an interception.
We have Asa being carried off the field right now.
Yeah, probably cramps. As, he just ran a very long way.
He's all smiles. There you see him, 6 foot 170, senior. His last year probably cramps, as you say, because he ran a long way.
Yeah, got a throwing touchdown and a receiving touchdown for Asa. So a lot to smile about. Obviously, with the speed, you want to get the cramps worked out. That you can tell because they're just kind of massaging his calf, and they have a water bottle 5 feet away from him at the ready, just trying to make him stay hydrated.
So now we have 8 minutes, 23 seconds left in the game, and this is completely different from what we saw in the first half, where Wilsey Wood was completely shut out, and now they're able to put 15 up on the board. Whatever Coach Mraz said during halftime has completely boosted the energy of Wilsey Wood as they're able and starting to look like their normal selves.
I'm trying to see on the sideline for Liberty. Both Butterfield and Dutt have helmets on, but Butterfield is closer to a coach. Because I think this is a crucial drive for Liberty.
Oh, yeah.
And I would go to Dutt
Without
100% because you need, if not a scoring drive, at least a drive that eats up at least half this clock.
You want to, exactly. I mean, with 8:23 left, the game is in your hands. You control the game. I honestly, if I was Liberty, run out the clock as much as I can.
Yes.
And they do have the running backs to do that.
Yes.
As we have Eastern Williams and Higgins back in the field.
But Liberty is crowding around that 10-yard difference.
They are expecting it, but it is going to be kicked downfield. As Williams is going to take the ball out from the first line, and he's going to be stopped, but it was going to be a missed tackles, and he will get all the way to the 15.
But that was beautiful special teams by Austin Clark, because that is a pinpoint accurate kick, because like we have said many times, if you field the kick in the end zone, it's dead. So him having to field it at the 1 yard line makes him run the longest he can possibly go. It was just a good individual effort from Eastern Williams to break a couple tackles to not pin them at the 10-yard line, but good special teams from Wilsey Wood.
As you said, this is a crucial moment. They are going to go with Butterfield as the quarterback.
Yeah, they're trusting the younger of the two quarterbacks. We'll see how it pays off here in this drive.
So far, he has shown promise. As that ball is going to be hiked, as he's going to launch it down to receiver. As we see Zane Hinosa, who's wide open, and he makes the defender miss. And that's the Zane Hinosa that we've seen.
And that's the soft spot I was talking about when you're exploiting the cover 2 defense, is along the sidelines. We've seen them hit the middle of the defense for some completions, but there, just a straight go route from Zane Hinosa. Easy pickup. He blew right by the corner, found that soft spot. Good completion for the Lions, and now they're in Wilsey Wood territory.
Yeah, and honestly, we've had Hinosa very quiet this entire game. Why not call his number and his name when the game is on the line?
It looks like Wood went to a nickel-type defense with McFadden out there.
As that ball is going to be handed off.
Cameron Moore with the slam down.
Yeah, John Fio trying to bounce it to the outside. I think his game's more of that gritty between the tackles type of run. You don't want to see him go laterally too much, and especially with the size of big Cameron Moore on one of the edges for Wilsey Wood, he was able to stuff that for no gain.
Definitely has been containing that outside for Wood the entire game, setting that edge.
Second down, ball on the 48-yard line. Liberty trying to keep clock running as it is with 7 minutes left to go. As Butterfield takes the snap and he's going to throw to his wide open check down receiver, who is going to slip just a little bit, as that was number 17, Adric Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar's been the safety blanket, kind of going with just some simple flat routes, as like Josh said, just simple check down. Butterfield not doing too much. We've seen what happens when some of these Liberty quarterbacks kind of press things a little bit, and it was good for Lamar to stay in bounds, keep that clock running. 7:28 and counting. Excuse me, 6:28.
Trips at the top of your screen. You have Hinosa down at the bottom as he looks, and he's going to throw it to his receiver, who just gets rocked. But pops back up, but the flag will be thrown.
Yeah, that's tough. Nick DeVore. Should be Nick DeVour, because, yeah, we'll look at this hard hit over the middle of the field. He made a nice move to elude one defender right there, but then boom, got one high, got one low. Stansberry and DeVore. We'll see what the penalty is. Probably the helmet. It's a helmet hit. But again, like, what are you supposed to do if you're DeVore? Like,
he probably, I mean, he didn't expect Stansberry, I don't
to
think.
be underneath him, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what made the, the helmet-to-helmet contact.
Yeah.
Because I don't think if Stansberry were to make that tackle, or at least get the bottom half of him, DeVore wouldn't have hit him up top.
Exactly.
And with that penalty, they're going to be inside the red zone.
So I know this isn't exactly what we've been talking about, but just a preview of the Black and Blue Bowl. Cameron Moore against Jake Levengood on one side of the field. That's some behemoths coming up later in the season.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch, as that ball is going to be poorly tossed to Fio.
That was a fumble. We've seen Wilsey Woods' problems handling the ball with a couple drops from Asa Wande there. Fio did the smart play and just kind of dove on it.
That's the time you wish, late in the ball game, that you had a defender, at least one, shoot the gap towards the quarterback, and then at least make the attempt to corral that fumble.
Yeah, one thing Wilsey Wood doesn't do a lot of, too, is blitzing. They really rely on the front four to try to create pressure.
Butterfield takes the snap, and he is going to throw it to Hodgson, who dodges a defender, dodges another one, and will get the first down, but pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, I think what his moves did two things. One, they made Wilsey Woods' defenders miss, and we'll look at it on the replay here. But his moves make him stay in bounds. So the clock, he tried to keep it rolling. There, Hodgson makes one defender miss, and
terrible tackling from Stansberry right there.
And it takes two more Wildcats to throw him out of bounds. And so it's actually going to be a yard short of the first down. And the clock is stopped.
3rd and 1, as Butterfield's going to try to take it himself.
Yeah, we'll see where they spot it. It looked like he ran straight into the
flag.
center. Yet another penalty. The penalties are just so draining on both sides because it just stops everything. And you hate to see too many penalties in the game. It looked like the timing of it, though, was a dead ball after the play. So even if it is on
Something
Liberty,
said.
yeah, probably something in the middle of in the pile.
It looks like it was a personal foul on Wilsey Wood.
Yeah, it looked like number 75, Kamani Curry, might have said something, because as our camera was showing, the ref threw the flag and looked like he threw it in disgust.
Is there ever a happy ref, though? Like,
I would say
you
never.
did a foul. With a
You
big
get a
smile.
foul.
Yeah.
You get a foul.
But I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it kind of looked like he made a face while
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did. He did.
We'll have to watch that back on Wednesday when we're back in the classroom.
We will definitely be doing that. 1st and 5. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left as the ball is going to be handed out to Fia, who just gets in there untouched. And there you go. Touchdown, Liberty.
Yeah, we talked before the drive started. The ideal goal was to at least cut that time in half. They started with 8:20. They ended with 4:18, and you get the touchdown with the cherry on top. And we'll look at John Fio's touchdown run here in the I formation. Jay Butterfield, super slow-mo. And so he is under. Gets a good lead block there. Really, the one penetration we'll see what got picked up by that fullback, and Fio was able to walk in to the end zone.
And the kick is up. And good. Your score is now Liberty 34, excuse me, and we'll see Wood 15.
It's a 4-18, 19-point ball game.
What would you do, Brian, if you were Coach Mraz?
Dial up every trick play you got left. It worked once, honestly. Sometimes, though, Greer, he throws it up and he says a prayer. It worked with the Asa Wande long touchdown pass. Maybe you try to go with some go routes and try to outthrow.
I'd throw something in there like the wheel route. I think that played a big part earlier in the game as Catlin, got open, unable to get the touchdown. But I think moving those receivers in and out, having some safeties bite in, some trickery to open up someone on the outside one-on-one and hope for some desperation.
And the last play in their minds is a go route from Asa Wande, so have him be the decoy, suck in that coverage, and then have that wheel route come up from behind him. You'd have a lot of space for like a Chris Catlin.
Exactly. Or on my personal preference from what they have as far as weapons wise, I'd go with Wojan. I mean, he's 6'5", just a big guy, tight end. You'll probably get a linebacker on him.
As that kick is going to be recovered and will be stopped right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, one of the most interesting stats coming into this game. Josh so thankfully printed out all the stats for us. I looked at the receiving stats. I was like, wait, where's Marsh Wojan's stats? Let's look it up. He has to have some receiving stats, right?
And that was his first catch of the season?
The first catch of the season was that touchdown
catch of the season.
How about that?
And last year, I believe he had around 59
catches.
800 yards and 8 touchdowns.
You are correct.
So that weapon in this offense in 3 games, 1 touchdown, 1 catch.
That's extraordinary. As that ball is going to be handed off to McFadden. He picks up about 8, just shy of a first down.
Yeah, so I like to see a little bit more urgency. Obviously, you ran the ball so the clock doesn't stop here. So you're under 4 minutes left. Unless you're content to say 19 points is too much.
As they are going to hand it off again to McFadden, who makes a few defenders miss as he cuts around the field, and he stays on his feet.
That was just great individual effort. That run play was designed to go to the left. He, on his own, saw a lane to his right and decided to cut back, and he found an edge, got to the 45-yard line, and more importantly, ran out of bounds. Actually, he did not.
No. Great vision and awareness right there from McFadden, showing an NFL type of run.
As they're going to go with him again as he makes some more defenders miss.
But, hey, I think Liberty
and we got a penalty knocked on top of that.
Yeah, Chris Catlin was coming up off of the ground.
I think he kind of flopped, but, why not?
It gets 15 yards, and it stops the clock, more importantly, because I think that's what Liberty's doing is like, hey, you can run the ball right up the middle all you want. We'll tackle you, but we'll take the 20 seconds that it takes for you to run your next play. And using that math, they would come up on top, but you can't start making mistakes mentally by creating penalties on defense, especially when they're – Wilson Wood wants to bait you into making some mental mistakes. So you just got to stay disciplined if you're Liberty.
And before the kickoff happened after the touchdown by Liberty, one of the refs pulled 2 players aside and talked with them and had a word, and reading his lips, he was kind of like, oh, can we have like a clean game, okay? And it seems like they're just tired of this unsportsmanlike.
So the result of that was an ejection from whoever committed the foul from the Liberty side, and they were
I think it was
not
number
too.
5.
Yeah,
if I'm
Devin
not,
Willis.
Mistaken, yeah.
So here we go. Ball spot at the 23-yard line. First down and 10 for the Cats. With 3:22 to go in the ball game.
That's the first that I've ever seen an ejection in a high school football game.
It's always awkward when you're the away team and you get ejected away from your
Yeah.
your home park. Because if you get ejected at home, it's just like, all right, I gotta go home.
Everyone's
go to
kinda
my locker room.
cheering for you too. I
Yeah.
mean, in the stands.
It's like, where are you supposed to go? You just sitting on the sidelines? Because usually when people like eject you, they eject you out of like the entire
Yeah.
stadium.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, he's just sitting down there. As it looks like we'll see what he's trying to figure out what they want to do with 3:22 left in the game. Ball's on the 23.
Yeah, it's not. It's going to take a lot of things happening for Wilsey Wood, but 3:22, you possibly could get enough time for a comeback here. Not likely, but I didn't think they were going to put up 15 points,
You didn't
honestly.
think they were going to put up anything.
Yeah.
Not even a field goal.
Yeah, I was impressed with the field goal by Austin Clark. They definitely have a weapon there. They managed to put together nice, sustained drives, finally, with Daniel McFadden, something they didn't do in the first half. And so we'll see here with Grayer in the pistol.
As he is going to throw it to Asa, who is going to have blockers in front of him. Makes a few moves, cuts, stays on his feet. Flag is going to be thrown.
So yeah, we'll see if that's maybe a hold or a face mask. But I would like to see Asa go out of bounds there, just show. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on and see if we can see an infraction. Asa Wande on the wide receiver bubble screen. Yeah.
I see a holding.
Yeah, the wide receiver on the outside. It looked like he held to get Asa that edge.
Late flag, though.
Very late.
Refs might be a little cold down there.
Delayed reaction time. No big deal.
It's not frustrating at all if you're either coach. Oh, yeah, and they can just talk about it and take their time. No worries. We're just here trying to win a football game.
Of course.
Just as long as you're happy, refs, I'm happy.
They're trying to win a football game. They're trying to officiate a ball game. Everyone's trying to do something.
So it looks like offsetting personal foul penalties.
Yeah, as they're going to go forward, then they're going to go backwards, and now it looks like it's going to be right at the 9.
Yeah, like I said, offsetting. I'm not sure if the clock's going to start because there was a penalty. Usually there is a stoppage, but Asa did get tackled in bounds. So
and the clock is going to be running.
So 3 minutes left in this ball game.
Ball's on the 11. Defense doing a bunch of moving around. Like, you got this guy, you got this guy. As Greer is going to hand it off to Daniel McFadden, who's going to spin and move, make a few defenders miss, and he's in there for the touchdown.
Great elusiveness from McFadden. I thought he was bottled up. I was going to give kudos to the Liberty defense for noticing that he was going to cut back because he had a tendency to do so. We'll look at it on this replay from Grayer's perspective. He hands it off to McFadden. He cuts to the right side, spins away, breaks 2 more tackles. We talked about poor tackling from Wilsey Woodside. There, poor tackling, allowing McFadden to score that touchdown.
Yeah, it was Ethan Dumman, number 3, who just got Daniel McFadden to spin just out of his reach to get in there for 6. As they're going to try and go for it and get the 2 points, as they are over 2 now.
Yeah, I think this might be just working on goal line stuff.
But they're going to hand off to McFadden, and he gets in.
Yeah, because now it's an 11-point ball game, and you're still down 2 possessions.
Yeah.
So that was, I think this is literally just work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. With an inexperienced quarterback like Greer, getting him any sort of work at the goal line, we'll look at this 2-point conversion. Simple handoff to McFadden. Great.
Big holes.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of feel like that's what they should have been doing the entire time for trying to get those conversions. Just
they had this.
hand the ball off.
This type of momentum, this kind of drive with the offensive line able to work and finally, start pulling, starting to put a body on a body, I think that they could have had a chance to win this ball game. Yet, it's not over yet, 34-23. But if they were to score in that first half, at all, maybe a touchdown or two, it would have been an entirely different ball game.
Yeah. I said that 2-point conversion was meaningless, but now that I did the mental math, if they score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, they get the ball back and kick a field goal, then it's a tie game. Yeah. So it's not completely it's not completely unnecessary to go for 2 on that play, because here, if you get a kind bounce, you get the onside kick, score a touchdown, or if you go for the quick field goal, that's another strategy, because you have to get the ball back twice anyway on onside kicks. So it just opens up the possibilities. If you fail, then you have to get 2 touchdowns.
We will see what Wilsey Wood how they decide to defend this Liberty offense and how Liberty is going to answer back.
Oh, well, this is an onside kick.
For sure?
Without a doubt.
I'm 100% sure, yeah. If they don't
it'll be interesting.
Get the ball, yeah, Liberty's just going to run the ball out.
And I think you're right, seeing how Clark is lined up. Yep, and as is going to be onside, misses a few bounces. A flag is going to be pulled as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it goes kick out of bounds. Nobody touched it. It was a decent onside kick attempt. You would
It
like
looked
to
like
see
they had
it
an
was
opportunity.
close. It was close.
It took a bounce and no one was grabbing it.
Yeah. You would ideally like to hope that it has like a higher bounce and not be kicked so quickly, but it got through, and that's all you really want if you're Wilsey Wood. So good field position for Liberty to run out the clock. Wilsey Wood does have all 3 of their timeouts, so if they get a 3 and out, they would have the ball back, but with no timeouts.
And we will see as Dutt is now going to be the quarterback. And it is going to be handed off to Higgins, who just gets stopped in progress and thrown down to the ground.
Again, good discipline defending the cutback. Higgins tried to find some space on the opposite side of the running play, but Wilsey Wood able to wrap him up. They're not going to call a timeout right away, as they'll like to see what happens to make sure that it's a 3rd down before they start calling timeouts.
And with that, it'll be 2nd and 8. Dutt in the shotgun. And he is going to throw it to Hinosa, who makes a defender miss, makes 2, stays on his feet, and gains the 1st down.
Yep, and so that's a risky play, because obviously if you miss that pass and it's incomplete, then the clock stops and you're only benefiting Wilsey Wood. But you got to love the connection from Dutt to Hinosa. It's the best connection on the Liberty side of things. So if you're Ryan Partridge and the Liberty football team, it's understandable why you would want to go to that matchup.
Minute 40 left in the game. Liberty just looking to have this the final drive / possession of the game. And it is going to be handed off to Higgins. And the ball will be stopped at the 30-yard line.
So I think Coach Morales is kind of conceding the fact that it is an 11-point ball game. You do have the 3 timeouts, but odds are this game is wrapped up for Liberty.
1 minute and counting. As Dutt takes the snap, and it's going to be handed off as the clock continues to run. It's going to make a few defenders miss and dive forward as John Fio.
Didn't stay in bounds, though.
Oh, no, I believe he did. They just have to stop the clock to move the chains because he technically he picked up the 1st down.
Okay.
But I a lot of people say, why not use the timeouts? Like, you don't get a bonus for not using your timeouts. But on the other hand, if you're Coach Mraz, you've seen this game get pretty chippy. And ultimately, having your players be safe, that's something that you have to keep in mind as well. And
there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like it's going to be victory formation. And that will do it for the game, as your final score is Liberty 34, Wilsey Wood 23. Brian, what do you have to say about Wilsey Wood's difference from their first half to their second half, and does it kind of show promise for them throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at least you saw a lot more productive drives out of Jalen Grayer over Andy Jones or Asa Wande. I like that Coach Mraz tried something new by putting Asa out there in the Wildcat to try to generate some sort of excitement for the offense, but we really saw his skill set as a position player rather than the quarterback. And Grayer was able to be a game manager and really hand the ball off to McFadden and Catlin. And really, if you focus the offensive line on one task, run blocking, pass blocking has been a big issue in the first half. So they were able to create some holes, score some points, and hopefully they can take that and build upon it for the rest of the season.
And now, Chris, this is our second time seeing Liberty for us at Solana College Sports Network. What did you think about their performance?
You know, I thought they played really well. The use of Ryan Dutt and Butterfield, or as Brian would say, Dutterfield.
Yes.
You know, I think it played a huge part in this ball game. Both seem actually really comfortable compared to what we saw the first game of the season against Vaca High. Looks like both are in almost midseason form. Along with the running game for Liberty, definitely came out a lot more than what we saw the first game. Didn't see much of Vaki or Hinosa on the outsides, but I think overall they played really well. You know, they got to work on the unnecessary roughness penalties, but I think overall a great ball game from Liberty.
Yes, it was. And for Brian Nelson and Chris Avaglia and all of us here at Solana College Sports Network, I'm Josh Kinder, and we'll see you next time.